close.
That's right. That's right. I'd like to bring Liaquat Shahwani into this debate. Liaquat Shahwani, the advisor on foreign affairs of Pakistan, Sattar Aziz, he said a very important thing that this entire hostile posturing is basically playing to domestic audiences and is meant to extract domestic political gain. So how far do you look at this as a strategic objective?
Well, I think I do agree with this statement, because ostensibly it was a platform to guide Afghanistan towards a bright future in terms of economy and stability. But in reality, the platform has been reduced to a boxing ring between Pakistan and India. And we have seen that Modi does not forget to, underestimate Pakistani narrative, Pakistani delegation, Pakistani side of policies on any forum. If you look at the SAARC summit, they tried their best and lobbied with Afghanistan and other countries and postponed the SAARC summit. And we saw on UN General Assembly that Modi himself, he did not go to the address UN Assembly and send Sushma Swaraj there. So these all posturing are a posture that Modi just want to, sideline and isolate Pakistan on international arena. And now we see, particularly after CPEC, India cannot digest CPEC in any case, because in CPEC, two rival and two neighbors of India, China and Pakistan both, they are going to emerge as the largest economies and powers, not in the region, but internationally. As we know that China now has emerged as second largest economy in the world. And the interest of China and Pakistan has been converged into the Gavadar, into the CPEC. So they can easily see next decade Pakistan would be a greater, economical and strategical power, not in the region but internationally. So look at the prelude from Russia. That Russia this time he was supporting Pakistani line because Russia has been taken interest.
Going to increase day by day.
That's right. Liaquat Shahwani, how far do you think raising the temperature of the line of control, resorting to killings, firing from across the line of control, killing the civilian population, attacking our brave soldiers across the line of control, how far do you think this has actually gone against the Indian designs rather than in support of it?
Well, India has always been championing and dubbing himself a supporter of human rights, a great democracy, a great federation, the country which has been safeguarding the rights of lower static of people, different classes. This claim now has been plunged into a ditch due to the policies of Modi government. Now they are, they tried their level best to just stifle the voice of Kashmiris. And on every stage, they tried to avoid the attraction of media from this issue. But now we feel they are going to be failed, because on every scale, Pakistan now lobbying well, and the issue of Kashmir is a Kashmir issue of United Nations, the Charter of United Nations, their plebiscite issue and their human rights issue, and that everybody knows this time. This is indigenous, pure indigenous movement. No country has got anything to do with that, movement. So this is their own right. They are raising their voice in retaliation. India, killing innocent people of Kashmir. So now on that platform, they are slow and steady. You would see they will lose a picture of democracy, a picture of secularism.
That's
In
right.
other end, we are seeing that a new bloc is going to emerge in this region.
That's right.
Which would will be leaded by China or Russia.
That's right.
Afghanistan.
That's right. Col Shafaqat Saeed, that's a very good point. I'd like to bring Liaquat Shahwani Saab into it. Now, Liaquat Shahwani Saab, the situation here is that Pakistan is a major stakeholder when it comes to peace in Afghanistan. Of course, peace in Afghanistan means peace in the region. And of course, you cannot separate whatever is happening in Afghanistan with the rest of the region and the prospects for peace here. Now, here we have Pakistan making an effort to reach out to the Taliban there. Pakistan was hosting the Taliban here. They have had several meetings here, and Pakistan has been encouraging a dialogue between the Taliban and the Afghan government. And in this context, how far do you think such posturing by the Afghan leadership is helpful to their own cause, to forging peace within their own country?
Well, unfortunately, Afghanistan does not have their own economic resources. They do not have their own revenue and taxation system. So they have been unaccustomed to international aids, which have been provided by Western countries, NATO. Now they have, found a new ally, which is India, which is going to support them in terms of finance and other healthcare, infrastructure, different facilities. So I think it suits to Kabul government that they should have such, allies which keep them supporting. And they are also playing India and Pakistan that rivalry in their own favor. We have observed that Karzai had been uttering the words of American, while Ashraf Ghani has been uttering the words and tone of Indian government. So there is a shift. They have more inclined, Ashraf Ghani has more inclined towards India. Previously, we didn't observe this, set of trends. Now, if they want stability in their country, if they want to be a sovereign country, if they want to stand on their feet, they have to, make viable decisions. They should, accept the reality that Pakistan is their next neighbor country, and Pakistan has had, decades of contacts and relationship with Afghanistan, and Pakistan has been hosting 4 million Afghan refugees in his country on the cost of his own issues, on the cost of this Kalashnikov culture, this drug culture, these barbarism which has come out from Afghanistan through these refugees. And we know, I don't want to be, indulge myself in blame game, but we know, look at the suicide attacks in Quetta, in Balochistan, in different parts of the Pakistan. 90% of them, they are coming from, Afghanistan. So it means yesterday, the Quetta suicide attackers, they have been killed and arrested. So there are, the IG of Balochistan, he was saying that the attackers were, supported, facilitated, and financed by Afghanistan. So nonetheless, Pakistan is, has constraints. We are not indulging ourselves in blame game, and we know that stability of Afghanistan is stability of Pakistan. And I would say that we should not just confine ourselves to artificial, just like these international forums, but Pakistan and India, Pakistan and Afghanistan directly engage in bilateral talks. They should come together because they have a huge history. They are neighbor countries. They have experience of both sides. They're Muslim countries. They could have they could pave waves,
and no stability in
That's
the
right.
subcontinent.
Now, Liaquat Shahwani Sahab, now looking at the entire situation, and of course, I'd like to bring you to the point that was raised by Dr. Manzoor Afridi, that the extra regional powers are perhaps using this region for a new Cold War. So how far do you agree with this argument that, of course, was given by Dr. Manzoor Afridi, because we see manifestations of this, in the changing dynamics in the region?
Well, international affairs are based on self-interest, not on foggy sentimentality. Since we know that this region is rich with natural resources, plus we have sea, and strategically it is important region. Russia has always been dreaming for hot waters. During the Cold War, we have seen that
They were dreaming for warm waters, and we got them into hot waters.
yeah, so yeah, now
Soviets, not the Russians.
Yes.
The Soviets.
even in the timing of Tsar, in old great game, this region was a buffer state.
That's right.
Had been declared before. So this is their old dreams, and also in convergence with the Kabul government in '78, where the revolution came in Afghanistan. This was the main strategy. Moscow was supporting them to reach to the warm waters. So now we are observing and witnessing a new great game in the region, and the great game is the same, players are the same, but now the former Soviet Union, that's not representing communist bloc.
That's right.
China is not a communist country, except is political structure. China has became a capitalist country. Now we see there is a new conflict between red capitalism and white capitalism, which is Western capitalism, and both are converging with their interest in this region. So as I earlier mentioned, we are seeing emergence of a new bloc with China, Russia, Iran, Pakistan, and by the convincing of Pakistan in future, we would see Saudi Arab and Gulf countries in this new bloc. In other end, we are seeing India with America and other Western countries. Though we know that China and India, their bilateral trade volume is $70 billion plus, while Pakistan and China, their volume is only $11 billion. So China and India, they are not going to foil their old trade interest in the favor of Pakistan. They would have their own bilateral relationship, while Pakistan would have its own relationship. But now this time I observed that Pakistan has embarked on a great economical strategy, which is based on economy. During Cold War, that was incidental. When Western countries with their money and dollars came in this region, Fukuyama came here, that was incidental, and that flow of money were not properly utilized in the favor of your GDP growth, economical structure. In second phase, we see after 9/11, that was also incidentally. The Western countries came here with their flooding of money. But now this time, Pakistan and China, they are embarked on a proper economical, strategical future of Pakistan by CPEC. So this would have, a positive gesture. This would have positive development in economy, and other countries would join it. CPEC is, a huge, enormous economical project, and it is not a simple project. But we would see in next decade, it's a huge economical activity which will open the gates of prosperity, progress, development in the future, and that would, attract other countries, Central Asian countries, then Russia, then Gulf countries. So, and we know the future battle is staged for economical battle. The country which is rich, which has skill power, manpower, good skills, good infrastructure, and economical developed, they will play in the future international arena.